Hey Sagittarius, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I am an intuitive astrologer, angel therapy practitioner, Reiki master, and empowerment coach. And I'm here today to talk about your January 2023 monthly horoscope. For the purposes of this video, I'm talking about whole sign Western astrology. We're looking at your rising, your moon, your sun, and any stelliums. A stellium is 3 or more personal planets. That's my perception, in one sign or house. The personal planets are the sun, the moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. Some people might not say Jupiter and Saturn, but I will, because those really indicate a soul's intention for a place of evolution that you have an opportunity to experience in this lifetime. So what I'm going to do is start and just go over some of the key points of this month. And I think one of the most powerful things, Sagittarius, is that on December 20th, 2022, your ruling planet Jupiter moved into Aries. This is your 5th house. It's kind of fun. It's all creativity and personal pleasure and hobbies and personal expression and entertainment and romance and the conception of children. Jupiter will stay in this house until May 2023, May 15th. This gives you months to start to really expand your faith, your belief in yourself, to try new things. Jupiter really, as you should know, being your ruling planet, it offers so much bounty, abundance. It offers a sense of faith in the world that the universe has got you. And I think this is what's being offered to you as you go through this next 4 or 5 months, really putting some intention into your beliefs. What do you believe about yourself? What do you want to create? And when you ask, Sagittarius rules the big questions. Who am I? Why am I here? When you give yourself permission to define those for you, who am I? I'm an internal being. Why am I here? To express myself in any way that seems pleasurable and joyful to me. And in doing that, I'm actually providing a beautiful service for those that experience me as I walk through this planet. We have Mars retrograde in Gemini. Mars has been retrograde in Gemini for months. This particular year, 2022, Mars will see a total of almost 6.5 months in Gemini. And then the last couple of weeks in retrograde, beginning here in, well, I don't know if I have that right, because it's going to be in Gemini until March. Regardless, Mars has been doing a 7-month stint in Gemini between its original forward motion, its backward motion, and then moving forward again. It's giving you an opportunity to really review how you see yourself in relation to others, both professionally and personally. How are you experiencing the peace in your life? How are you experiencing balance in your life? Gemini is a social sign. The 7th house is a social house by nature. And I think this retrograde of Mars is asking you to be brave and courageous and to really be a pioneer about what you want to experience in relationships. It will turn direct on the 12th of January. And as I mentioned a minute ago, it will stay in Gemini until March. So this is giving you a real opportunity to review things and then plan on taking action once the retrograde is over. At the same time, Mercury is retrograde in Capricorn, which is your 2nd house. This is the house of of skills, where you make money by your skills yourself. It's also the house of self-worth and how you feel confident moving forward. It is in direct relation to your family experience. It's where you meet through your family who you are as they have originally defined you. And then as you go through the rest of the wheel, the zodiac wheel, you end up redefining yourself throughout that experience. So I think what Mercury is doing in Capricorn, and it will be retrograde until the 18th when it will move forward, is giving you an opportunity to really think about some historic mental structures, historic ways of viewing yourself, historic ways of viewing your capabilities, your viability, and how the universe is supporting you. I'm really a big fan of Capricorn. I don't know why, but I know Saturn has a bad rap for being depressing and oppressive. But I think that overall, when we get past the human parameters of that restriction, we start to feel the universal laws take over. And as we build from those universal laws, we find ourselves really experiencing a strong sense of leadership and of material security, which is also what the second house represents. Venus will enter Aquarius around January 2nd, January 3rd, depending upon where you are in the world. And this is in your third house of your siblings, of your immediate neighborhood, your community, your thoughts, what you read, what you speak, what you teach others through your behaviors. And so here we're going to see Venus feel liberated. She's going to feel as if there are bigger possibilities if she's willing to break the box. And Venus naturally rules the second house, which we've just come from with our Mercury retrograde. And these new thoughts, these new structures can now start to be implemented with Venus being in Aquarius. On the 6th, we have a full moon in Cancer, which is your 8th house of transformation. I believe this is where there's an opportunity for you to have an epiphany about some of your own intuitions. I think because Sagittarius represents such a high-minded education, such an intellectual mind, that even though it's a very open sign, very open to diversity and to different experiences, and while it represents the connection to the angelic realm, I think sometimes when we get into higher education, the ideas of science and technology supersede our intuition. So I believe that this full moon in your 8th house is going to renovate your viewpoint of that. You're going to start to look at how you're taking care and nurturing yourself by listening to your intuition, or at least taking a pause until spirit can confirm that your intuition is straight up. You know, that inner voice that says, I don't know if I should do that, or, oh, I should do that. Or that inner voice that says, go buy a lotto ticket because you're going to win big. There's something going on here. And I think this full moon is going to illuminate it. And while most of the time full moons are the endings, this ending feels like it starts something up pretty quickly for you. And I think that has something to do with Jupiter being in your 5th house and some sort of creative idea. So what may happen is you may end up feeling like, I've been holding myself back. I've been holding myself back. I don't need to do that anymore. I didn't even realize I was doing that. And then all of a sudden it feels like an open highway. On the 21st, we have a new moon in Aquarius at 1 degree. This is super significant because it is in a series of new moons. The first new moon was in Sagittarius at 1 degree in November 2022. The second was in Capricorn in December. This is the third in January. The fourth will be in Pisces, and then the fifth will be at the 0 degree Aries. This is on the world axis at the critical degree. So there's going to be a real birth of self with that Aries new moon. And all these months preceding that are bringing in the epiphanies and the experiences that are going to support this new version of yourself. So this new moon is super exciting. It is also joining Venus and Saturn in Aquarius. They're not really close to each other because Venus and Saturn have moved on in the house, but they're all still in the same house. So there is going to be an epiphany. There's going to be a liberation of an old version of yourself and the birth of a new version of yourself. And this is not about throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but thinking of the old version as the subflooring and the new version as the new hardwoods you just put down that you love so much. Now, finally, we end the month Sagittarius with Venus entering your 4th house of Pisces. And that's the house of home, the house of family, of patriotism, of all things that make us feel familiar. You know, there's a show on Magnolia Network called Family Dinner, and Andrew Zimmern is the host. And I love it because he goes into different places, different ethnicities around my country, the USA, and he extracts their traditions and their how am I trying to put this? Foreign people have traveled to this country and brought their foreign traditions with them, and they're celebrated on this show. So when I see Venus moving into Pisces, her best friend's house, and Venus loves food, she loves luxury, she loves cozy, warm, intimate connections. I feel like this is going to be offered for you. I feel like the end of the month is going to start a period of time when you're actually feeling creative and imaginative and seeing the possibilities of the future in a whole different way than maybe you have before. And I think what may be different is they're a little less conceptual now. They may feel a little more tangible to you. And as you continue to take those steps to move forward towards those dreams, they become more tangible with every step, which makes you braver and braver and more anchored into the version of who you want to be versus how you have previously defined yourself. Okay, that's it for me, Sagittarius, for January 2023. Again, my name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer. If you'd like to get a reading from me, my information is below. And please join me on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Pacific time for my live stream here on YouTube, where we get the angel's advice for traversing the week ahead's transits. We do readings for each sign, and it's a fun little get together. I am taking off Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and we'll resume the lives on January 8th, 2023 at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Please hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, hit that like button, comment, all those good things. And I'll see you next year, everybody. Peace out.